Well, I'm a little interested in the process. You've talked about how the card reader was used, and you saw the challenges with the card reader on election day. How did you feel about that? And would you say that we go down that route again come April 11?
I would say we go down that route again come April 11. I would say we go down that route again come 2019. I would say we go that route again come 2023. But, like you see, we should be able to improve on whatever applications that we have, whatever processes that we have, whether in technology, whether in industry or in politics or even in education. So the fact that we have a particular card reader in 2015 that didn't really function very perfectly does not mean that we shouldn't improve on it. We should now begin to seek ways of improving on it even in 2011 and 2019. The important thing for us to begin to consider or to begin to bother ourselves about, did the card reader in any way improve the integrity of the electoral process? And my answer is a clear yes. The reason why there was not so much manufactured votes in this last election is because there was a constraining factor of the card reader. The card reader gives you a maximum number of accredited voters, and that puts a ceiling to which you can make your manipulations or you can manufacture votes. So there were not much of those votes in this last elections. And the basis of most riggings in Nigeria is usually the manufacturing of votes. Because once you have a particular number of registered voters in any polling unit, the rigging experts find it as an opportunity to begin to manipulate and to maximize the votes that are possible for that particular polling unit to achieve their goals. So the card reader is something we should commend. We should really
commend. Well, some people will say that you saw how long the process took. In some cases, people were voting into the night, where the card reader didn't come on time, or where it wasn't available, or where it didn't work on time. Voting went on into the next day, went on into the night in some cases. Now, people are also scared that the turnout for the governorship elections could be affected as a result of what happened during the during the presidential elections. Do you share that fear?
Well, let me tell you that the sanity we have today after the presidential election, the fact that we're going to have less number of court cases after the presidential election, cases that are relating to overvoting, cases that are relating to people using other people who are not the real voters to impersonations in voting. The problem that would have arisen, for me, if you ask me, is much more problem than waiting some extra hours in order to ensure that we sustain the integrity of the voting process. So I think it's a sacrifice that every Nigerian that loves democracy should continue to make, even on come April 11. Let's not make that extra effort of waiting, but ensure that only those who are qualified to vote actually end up voting. In that way, there will be less acrimony when the votes are counted. For anybody who is genuine, is a genuine Democrat, the person should also be very, very concerned about that. If we can take our ATM card to a place to collect cash, and we have to wait in a queue until you get your own job so that you collect your own money, which I will actually give it to the bank to keep for you. I don't know why we shouldn't wait some extra hours in order to cast our vote and be sure that the man who are casting the vote, the actual person who has been so registered to cast a vote. In such a way, when you come out victorious after an election, you beat your chest and say the people actually voted for me. When the government in power, you see, in fact, I'm a government that has been put in power by the people. I think those delays are part of the sacrifice we got to make. But I think as we go on, INEC should be able to devise better way of ensuring that the card reader performs more effectively and more efficiently.
Well, good thing it has gone the way it has, but what were the complaints in Rivers State? If you say the card reader was fantastic and the way some others have agreed with you, did it go well in Rivers?
Well, let me firstly say that I never said the card reader was fantastic, but I said that the card reader was far better than not using it at all. It was far better. This election was better than any other election that we held in this country. And I'm not the only one saying that. Most commentators, including those that appeared on the channel, have affirmed that. The international community have affirmed that. The observers that came here, they have affirmed that. Then coming to rivers, I am also very longer to comment very deeply about rivers. Everybody who monitored the rivers election, like I did, I remotely monitored every aspect of rivers election because of the particular office I hold in this campaign organization. I remotely monitored every aspect of the rivers election. And I want to agree with those who say there was really, in the essence of election, no elections in Rivers State. So the problem that you associate with card readers in Rivers State is man-made. It's a problem that was deliberately caused by those who wanted to manipulate the result of the elections in Rivers State.
I mean, I've heard some say that, isn't it, or wouldn't it be a little hasty for us to just come to maybe any form of conclusion, as a matter of fact, concerning how the card readers went, other than perhaps waiting for INEC to release their data in terms of how the people voted, how the incident forms were used, the demographics of those who voted? This would be very good for planning, don't you think?
Well, let me tell you this, the good thing about technology now, and which I think Nigeria happily has embraced. When you say until INEC, we don't need to wait until INEC releases any.
You have the data yourself?
We don't need to wait for INEC to release the details before we begin to tell our own stories. We were all witnesses to the elections, and anybody who cared to take notice, who is really interested in the democratic process, will have taken notes of all that happened. And I can tell you all that happened. So let me just tell you also, it's one of those other things that I saw Mr. Orubebe or Elder Orubebe was complaining about releasing the result. I think he made a mistake. He didn't know that the nation have moved on. That he didn't know that there are new things about technology. That there is a difference between dissemination of INEC results versus announcement of INEC results. By the time you announce a result at the polling unit, announced at the ward level, it becomes something that is available in the public domain. And if I am able to aggregate all those results within the local government and begin to say, this is my score in the local government in a state, it doesn't amount to me announcing INEC results. I think he got me confused. Perhaps they never really got prepared about this election. They never really believe that the votes are going to count. So having said that, we had a demography. We can tell you that most of the problems encountered with the card reader are usually man-made. They are usually instigated.
In that case, could you tell us then, how many people use the incident forms in Imo?
Well, again, you're asking me another tough questions, and I am trying to resist the temptations of commenting on the integrity of the election in some parts of Nigeria. But incidentally, you are asking me questions within the two states where I also want to say that there were basically no elections, seriously speaking. Because these are areas where the military were unnecessarily and unusually and unfortunately used to control the true wishes of the people. So the issue of incidents forms may be difficult for anyone to begin to talk about in Imo State, in Rivers State, in Enugu State, because the army, whether they are the true army or the fake army, will never really allow the process to take place naturally.
All right, Dr. Theodore Ekechi, thank you very much indeed for speaking with us today on the program.
It's been my pleasure, and thank you.
So there you go, Dr. Ekechi is the Director, Election Planning and Monitoring, APC Presidential Campaign Council. We've got another perspective on this same matter. Don't go away. We'll be right back.